So yeah, just talk about like your fitness journey.
Okay.
And really
been a
just
long one.
background. Hell yeah, that's what I want to hear, and that's what like I look forward to these because one, I get to know our members even more. Like I get to see you in here and I talk a little bit about, we talk a little bit when we're out there about nutrition and workout and stuff. But this is really the reason we started this is
Times Square. Wow, I've been in Times Square.
No. So the whole thing is about life balance. There really is no balance. Some days you might be putting more towards your fitness. Some days you might be putting more towards your family. Some days you might be putting more towards, your work.
Right.
So the general public, there's this whole thing of like, keep your life balanced.
Right.
You can't.
Right.
Maybe by the end of your days, you can look back and say, you know what, I spent this many years on this. I spent this many years on this, and look at it all as a whole, and maybe it'll somewhat balance out.
Right.
But when you're living life, there's no perfect balanced day, week, month, or year, that I've learned over my 52 years of life.
Right.
Some days you're just grinding it out at work. When I built this company, it was a decade of just work.
Right.
And I wasn't there a lot, for family and this and that because I was building something. So that's what I'm trying to just get out there to the world that.
Right.
So you got to be selfish sometimes and focus on yourself.
Right.
The old saying, you got to put your mask on first before you can help someone else if the plane's going down.
Yeah,
it's kind of how
it's true.
I really believe in that. So this is
we already started
number
already.
6.
We're not even on that thing yet. And I'm not a social media guy at all. I've never been on. I don't do any of that stuff.
Nothing wrong with that, brother.
The only thing I do is my phone to find.
So do you ever use YouTube? Do you ever go on?
None of that stuff.
Do you have cable TV and?
Yes, but I will go on YouTube to look at Navy SEAL stuff training. I'll go down that rabbit hole, and I'm big into ocean swimming.
All right.
Marathon swimming.
Yeah.
I've never done marathon swimming, but that's a dream of mine. I've swam 4 or 5 miles in the ocean.
Okay.
Between buoys and stuff.
That's tough.
I've been in 2.5 mile swims, 3 mile swims. One swim I quit. It bothers me to this day that I quit with 20 minutes to go.
Okay.
I couldn't buck the current, and I was in shape, but not the buck the current shape.
Yeah.
And still.
Well,
in my mind.
Well, yeah. Because
No.
we hate to fail, right?
Yeah,
we hate to fail. But you know what? That's a whole nother ball game. Talking about running, you can just sit down. Swimming, you can't just.
No, we were.
You're gonna drown.
Yeah, we were in a river, like an ocean, like an inlet where you had a, It was tough. It was.
Damn.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're gonna talk about that today.
Yeah. No.
So, Alex always gets this thing rolling. He's here.
Okay.
One of these days, we're gonna get him mic'd up with us just so he can be a part of it, and he can put in some comments and stuff too.
Okay.
So, welcome to Times Squared podcast, where we talk about your fitness, what got you started. You're a member of New York Fitness, and everybody out there in our audience. This is Mark Sommer. He's a member at the Palmyra location. Mark, how old are you?
70.
70 years old. How many days a week are you here?
6 days a week.
6 days a week. So we're going to talk about Mark's fitness journey, and I want to hear a lot because I know he's got a lot of background as far as I know you're a religious man, and we've talked about that. Nutrition is important to you. So we're going to kind of dig in. This is going to be a good one, guys. So Mark, let's start with when did you first find fitness? Like what got you into it? And, let's start there. How did it all start for you?
Sports, high school and grammar school football.
Okay.
But we weren't in the gym. We would just do a football practice. As a kid, I was 13, 14 years old, and liked playing football.
Okay.
I liked the contact. I liked being in the dirt. Before I played organized sports, we would play tackle in the street.
So where did you grow up at?
Bayonne, New Jersey.
A Jersey boy.
Yeah.
All right. So was football your sport, or did you play other sports too?
Football was my sport.
Yeah.
I played.
All right, cool. And what year did you graduate high school?
Graduated in 74.
74. Yeah. So I was born the year before. I was born in 73. So
okay.
You've been in this fitness game longer than me, brother.
Yeah.
So one, I love talking to you when you're out on the floor working out because I love to hear your splits, what you're doing, and you're constantly changing things up and you're constantly evolving. So right right from the door from high school, you were already hitting the weights, and then you just you've been at it that whole time?
No, I wasn't lifting the weights in high school. In high school, we would do football camps where we would go to. We do 3-day sessions.
Okay.
And brutal sessions. My coach was a lieutenant, Marine, out of. He was in Korea.
Yeah.
He was my head coach.
He was a tough dude.
And he was loved. Yeah, and just great stuff. I loved the training, the physical of it. I was a skinny guy. I only weighed 135 pounds in my senior year in high school. When I was 27, my weight got up to like 168.
Okay.
And that's where I'm at right now.
All right.
168.
So since your 20s, you've been able to maintain that weight and just...
No, for a while. I got up into the 220s for a while when I was 50. And that's when I was at my peak with weightlifting. I was benching 275, squatting heavy, deadlifting heavy. I would carry a 100-pound log for a quarter mile on my back. You know, outside. I love outside training.
Yeah, and you still do that today, right? Maybe
I
not the
do,
log
not
carry,
the
but the rucks and all that stuff you're doing.
Yeah, my big is a sandbag. I like carrying a 44-pound sandbag on my chest for quarter miles.
Yeah.
And when I get tired, I don't drop the bag. I go into a squat, and I sit there and I wait till I could breathe again. It's really good for breathing.
What's like we talked a little bit before we really kicked it off here about not giving up on stuff. And so is that part of that? Like, yes. I'm not putting this thing down?
Right, yeah, it's a mental.
It's not going to beat me?
Right, it's mental. It's overcoming the mental. It's like when I decide to do a wall sit or a horse stance sit, if I say I'm going to do it for 5 minutes or 10 minutes, I won't quit. I'll do whatever it takes.
Where do you think that comes from? Where does that, like, because a lot of people, I shouldn't say most, a lot of people I think out there, they don't have that mindset, you know what I mean? And I think that what we need to let everybody know is that working out is a big mindset. Where does that come from for you?
It comes from my grandfather and my dad. My father worked 3 jobs to support his family. So he didn't train or work out. His workout was working. My dad was a policeman. And
is that in Jersey?
Blue collar, yeah, Bayonne. He did 20 years in Bayonne, and he did 8 years in Seabright as a policeman. And he always worked. He moved furniture on the side. He would clean tanks. He would go and crawl in tanks and clean chemical tanks. He was a guard at night. Every time I seen my dad, he was sleeping, but he would always come out to the football games for me and my brother. He coached baseball too for my brother, because my dad was a AAA baseball player. 1950, and then Korea came. So he was 17. He went in the Navy for 6 years. So he did till he was 23. So
wow.
You know, he was a helmsman. He used to drive a destroyer, and he was a signalman during the Korean War times.
So
He's seen the whole world. But that blue collar, and my grandpa too. My grandpa comes from, they come from coal mine people. He wasn't a coal miner, my grandpa, but they came from Shamokin, and they moved to Jersey City, and he worked a restaurant business, but he was with Patton. And he taught me about wearing no shirt. When in the winter, when they would use the artillery, they would get so hot, they'd take their clothes, their shirts off in the dead of winter, you know, with the shells. So we would fish as a boy. My grandpa always wore like a cut-off T-shirt, and I would do the same thing, and it was really cold.
Yeah.
We would fish, and I don't know, it was just a thing.
That was a different breed of men back then.
Great.
You know what I mean? Definitely, you know, because the same thing with my grandparents, my grandfathers, you know, tough guys.
Right.
Have been to war, and, you know, military guys. And I think it's important for our younger generation to know, like, how important it is to work hard and not give up. And, you know, because now life's a lot different. Everything's easy, right? Like, we get everything immediately. Emails. I mean, you want to phone call somebody. You don't have to try to connect with this person for days. Like, that's what these people don't understand. Like, back in the day, you had to be hoping that somebody was around the phone when it was ringing.
Right.
Because you would spend 3 days trying to call somebody because there was no voicemail. There was no nothing. So I think our younger generation, you know, we got things easy.
Right.
But they need to know that, you know, there's a benefit in not getting everything easy because it creates one hell of a man.
Yeah.
You know? So just having that background with just blue collar workers kind of gives you that discipline.
Right.
And there's not every day, I'm sure, like discipline goes a long way because you don't feel like working out every day, right? Like when you get up some days, it's like, man.
You know, some days I don't do it, but when you do it, you feel good.
Yeah.
You put that, and that's the discipline too. But I don't know. I'm addicted to training. I love to train, and I love pushing myself. I always set new goals to try to achieve.
Yep.
You know, new numbers, and like I share with you, I was into the thing because I like to read, and when I read books, it sends me down different trails, and I read everything and anything. And I love adventure. I love training books. I love people that, you know, put themselves in really bad places, not put themselves in bad places, wound up in bad places and how they survived where they were. I like that. And
So when you say bad places, you mean like life put you in bad places, or
you know how
like
people,
whether it's
I grew up around Holocaust survivors.
Okay.
I grew up around guys that were in prison.
Yep.
I grew up guys that came back from Nam. I know guys that were tunnel rats.
Yeah.
I worked with on the iron. And when I was a kid growing up, all the older cops were World War II veterans. All the guys in the middle were Korean War guys.
Okay.
And all the newer cops coming on were Vietnam veterans. So I grew up around like the blue collar, just tough man. And when I was a little kid, I used to see this guy, Johnny Kane was his name. He was an iron worker at a local 11. And he was a bartender, and he was a journeyman fighter, a boxer. He always had gloves. And he would take a fight on the spur of the moment. They'd call him the night before where somebody didn't make weight or cancel, and he'd go fight. And he didn't care.
At drop of a hat, just
drop of a hat. And I said, well, I'd like to be like that guy.
Yeah.
You know, I just, I respected that.
Yeah.
You know, growing
So
up.
did you get any like formal like training, like boxing and stuff like that? Have you ever picked that up on the journey?
I trained. I was 27 years old. I met Paul Vizio. He was a PKA super lightweight champion of the world. His daughter still has a school. It's some town in Jersey. Peaches is her name. But he was a world champion, and I used to spar with him.
All right.
Daily.
Yeah. Do you still do anything with the heavy bags or anything? Not no more?
No.
Okay.
My wrist is bad. I've hurt my wrist. I
Yeah.
broke my wrist on the job, and
So you're not trying to connect with things.
No.
Yeah.
But I like to punch when I go out and train. I'll throw 2,000 punches. I'll throw 100 punches, 10 sets of 10, as I'm walking. You know.
Yeah, that's good core workout.
Yeah.
People don't realize when you're
Right.
when you're punching like that heavy bag, you don't have to be a boxer or training
Right.
for a fight. Just punching that heavy bag,
Right. Yeah.
it connects that core muscle so good, and it's a great ab workout.
But it's not the big. Like I'm out
You're just doing it in the
cornfields.
air. You're just doing it in the
In
air.
the cornfields, and when I like to punch high,
Yeah.
low, and then I punch low, and you really get into it, and you get a nice sweat. And I love it when it's really cold or really hot. I love the extremes.
You like to be uncomfortable. You
Always.
put yourself in uncomfortable.
Yes. Yeah.
And why is that? Why is that? Like, because I love that.
Yeah.
That's one thing that I love about you, is because talking to you about your workouts,
Yeah.
you're always giving it 100%, whatever that 100% is that day. Like, what is
Right.
so important about putting yourself in uncomfortable positions?
Comes from I was an iron worker in Manhattan, and we used to always be in uncomfortable positions, climbing cranes, putting cranes together, taking cranes down. I was big with precast, putting up precast, tripping big panels, but pulling chain falls. You know, pull a chain fall, and I would never quit pulling a chain fall. Even with the younger guys, I just had a drive, and like I said, it comes from my dad, my grandpa.
Yeah.
It comes from God-given talent that God gives you, and then you push on that, you add on that. And I don't know, just stuff like you know, hot, tired. There'd be days, it'd be 100 degrees, we'd be up on the steel. You couldn't even sit on the steel. It would burn your skin. You couldn't pick up a tool without your gloves. And you would drink Gatorades all day and water, and you wouldn't pee because
you're so dehydrated.
And I don't know, and just I just thrived on that. I always did. And there was guys that couldn't and guys that didn't. I was always drawn to the guys that thrived.
That could hang in there.
And I just like being with a crew, hardcore.
Yeah.
I call it pipe hitters.
Yeah.
You know, I've been around some tough men,
Yeah.
especially on the iron. In New York City, the tough guys, carpenters, plumbers, a rough, tough crowd.
Yeah. Those are good guys, though.
Because
Those
I
are the
love
good guys.
the trades.
Yeah.
I love the trades.
Yeah. What? So did you go to the military then?
No, I wasn't military.
Okay.
My dad, my brothers, my uncles, both my uncles died young, died Agent Orange. You know, young, like say, in the 50s, 60s. They had the Agent Orange.
Okay.
My Uncle Bobby, I remember he came back from Vietnam. It was a great party. We had a bungalow out in Long Island with a barbecue and a great barber and a little garden. And I remember the day he came home from Nam and how my grandpa was so happy. My grandpa was so upset when he went because he didn't want him to go.
Sure.
But he was a helicopter mechanic and he did really great. He used to work for Volkswagen dealerships. He was a head mechanic.
Okay.
And military's good. My brother was in the military. He was in the Navy like my dad. And he had a gold SEAL license, black SEAL license.
Okay.
He had a good trade from being in the service. He got hurt. He was in a live steam accident in the Navy. Other people got killed. He breathed live steam.
Yeah.
It's tough military.
Yeah.
Tough,
Well, that's what you have that military mentality. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like as far as like putting yourself in uncomfortable positions, being
big-
able to fight through whatever, not giving up.
Big regret though that I wasn't in the military. I had a draft card when we were growing up. You had a draft card, and the war was winding down. But in my town, we lost 28 men in my town, and one is still missing. Douglas O'Neill, helicopter pilot, and he's still missing.
Okay.
Over there.
Yeah.
But tough.
So did you want to enlist?
No, but I wasn't
would've went.
against. Yeah, I would, absolutely would have went.
Yeah.
I backed our men.
Yeah. Well, you're a true patriot. You know what I mean. As far as I think obviously your hat. You know, you got.
I love the blue.
Yeah.
I love the first responders. I love police, firemen. Firemen are big love. My town, where I grew up, I've seen big fires as a child. Because industrial.
Yeah. Well, and they're paid firefighters, right?
Yeah.
That's like a lot of people around here, if they move to this area, they don't realize that our firefighters here, they're volunteers. So like that's even a whole nother ball game when you're not getting paid.
Right.
And you got a regular job. You got to get up in the middle of the night and go fight a fire around here. Like all of our people are volunteers, and that says a lot just to see those guys. You know, they're dedicating their life to when that call comes in. They're jumping out of bed and going to do it. So I'm with you. You gotta love those guys. So along with the fitness thing and torturing yourself, obviously we know that we are what we eat. And so let's talk a little bit about like nutrition and kind of how because you're very active, like you work out like several hours a day sometimes, right? Like 2 hours a day sometimes.
Some 3 hours, 4 hours.
And you're rucking. You're doing all that stuff, and you mentioned a little bit about swimming and stuff like that. So you got to fuel that body.
Right. But it's easy for me. I'm retired, so it's I have a lot of free time, and I like I have a passion for the training, and I'm a book nut. I love books.
You love to educate.
The food for most of my life, I ate everything. When I had to make weight, when I used to fight amateur, I couldn't eat, so I had to cut weight. I had to be at 168. That would be the middleweight fight for amateur. And I had to struggle to make the weight. Now I'm naturally at 168, and I'm struggling to keep weight now because I went full on keto. I've been in keto now for 5 months.
Okay.
Strict.
Let's talk about that. So explain to someone that maybe doesn't know about keto, like break that down. One, why did you choose to go that direction? And then give us like a day in the life of the keto diet.
Keto I got from Joe Rogan. He was talking about keto and looking at the fighters and about the energy not needing to carb up to have to, like marathon runners eating spaghetti and all that stuff, carb building. When you do keto, your body eats its own fat.
Yep.
And when I used to train in karate, we went to train 3-hour sessions, and we would stop when my body smelled like ammonia.
Okay.
And when I was 20 years old, I had like a Bruce Lee physique. I was shredded, like ripped.
Well, you're still shredded.
Yeah, but no, this is even better now.
Okay.
Now, this is even better than then. To me, I don't know. It goes to thing, but the keto was tough, But then the discipline of it, I got into it. After the 2 weeks, I started to thrive because I seen the results. I started seeing things I never seen before. And at 70 years old, when you start seeing things that you never seen before, I don't know.
It gets you excited.
Yeah, very.
It gets you
very.
excited, yeah.
And I just love to,
Yeah. So what do you use as your proteins then? What's your go-to proteins?
Eggs, organic eggs. I like avocados every day, 2 big avocados. I'm constantly shopping for avocados. Olives, I like goat cheese, and big with nuts.
Yeah.
All different types of nuts, macadamians. What's the ones that look like the brain? Walnuts.
Walnuts, yeah.
Pecans.
Pecans, yeah.
Stuff like that.
Yeah. And they say that each nut is, they're all good for you because they got those healthy fats, but they all have a little bit different nutrients. So like a pistachio
things,
to a cashew, everything has different. So it's good to like mix them up and consume different types of nuts.
See, you're smart with the nutrition. I was just talking with Erin downstairs. She's a nutritionist, and she was telling me how I need carbs, and I told her I don't need carbs. Yeah, but I do enjoy carbs. I'll cheat every now and then. Like I'll have one banana for the week.
Okay.
I don't eat any bread. I make my own bread. I make keto bread out of almond flour and egg. Stuff you learn.
Well, you like to keep educating. That's what I think that people need to realize. Like even once you retire, you still want to learn. You want to keep learning. You know what I mean?
Every day.
Yeah.
Every day.
Yeah, and that's reading those books. I wasn't a big reader growing up. But now I'll read like books that are more geared to like whether it's obviously training or entrepreneurship or just leadership, stuff like that. Catch my attention. But I'm still not a big reader. I have to force myself to do it, and I'm always like go. For me just to sit down and grab a book, I want to jump out of my skin. You know what I mean? So, but I do enjoy reading the stuff that piques my interest, things like that. So yeah, as far as carbs, the keto diet, like did you hit, like when you first switched over to keto, did you kind of hit like a crash?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So talk about that, because I think most people that want to do something like that, they'll hit that and they're like, oh, this is, I can't do it.
I was training without eating, and I got into it with Angel. Angel said, you can't do that, you could faint. But I forced my way through it. It felt like I had the flu for like 3 or 4 days.
Okay.
And I just stuck with it because I just the discipline to start. I had the mindset to do it before I did it.
Yeah.
I visualize things.
I like it.
I don't know. I go down a dark road sometime. I don't know, a rabbit hole. And I read about what was going to happen. So when it was happening, it was cool. And
you knew you were going into ketosis, yeah.
And it was a good thing. And then you get this energy level, and it just really comes on you like full blast. And you just
because your proteins, you start using proteins as energy then, where most people use carbohydrates as energy. Once you get through that, this first, what was it? The first couple, was it the first week or
the first week?
Yeah.
And you become I don't know. It's like a machine, and you become a machine. And I've read about. Dave Goggins talks about becoming a machine, and that's where you got to go. I don't know. You do like I don't know. I started getting into sit-ups, so I could do 100, and I could do 200. Now I could do 300 in a clip. I call it straight up.
Yeah.
I do straight up. Now I want to do 500.
So you keep challenging yourself, and that's the other important thing about fitness is changing things up. You know what I mean? You don't want to. If you come in and you do the same thing every time, you're going to hit a plateau where you keep making changes in, not only your nutrition, but your workouts, your repetitions, everything. That's why I love talking to you when you're out there on the floor, because I always like to see what program you're putting together, what you're doing, and how you're pushing yourself.
It makes me smile. I go to a high school track. I train on Sundays. You can't train during the week there when school's on. You used to be able to, but you can't anymore. So track's open on the weekend, and they have a tire flip there. And the tire, I looked up the tire. It weighs 260 pounds. I don't do the giant tire. I think that would be the lineman. I do the middle tire, and then they have a little tire. So my tire is 268 pounds, and I was doing 10 sets of 5, flipping a tire after my sandbag work and my my punching work, and I do sets of 50 for push-ups. Every quarter mile, I'll do a walk, and I'll do 50 push-ups.
Yeah.
And as far as I go, and then when I start to fail, like on set 6 or 7, I'll do them off my knees, and just brutal.
Yeah.
And the tire flip, so I don't do the tire flip now, I do 10 sets, so I'll do 10 reps. So I'm trying to increase.
You're taking
that.
everything to total exhaustion, where you're like,
Yeah.
you're not letting anything.
No, I can't.
You're
do
giving it all.
And my pace, I got to watch my heart, because 220 minus 70 is my maximum.
Yep.
So I got to be careful, because I push my maximum a lot.
Do you wear a heart rate monitor then?
No, but I
You
do
just
it
check
old
it, yeah.
school like this. And
Yeah.
I used to be a nut. And when, in the greatest shape of my life, my pulse would be in the low 40s. Now I'm probably 50 morning pulse.
Yeah.
And that's how I know
That's
how
still
I train.
That's still amazing. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You're still.
Well, that's
dude,
from the work.
Yeah.
And I'm into biking, but not on the street. I think I'd love to ride on the street, but I think it's dangerous, even around here.
Yeah.
You see the bikers, I swear, the guys are crazy. There's some a guy in the gym now, Steve. He's a biker, and he goes out for 50-mile things, and he just turned 75, and he did 75 miles last week or so, and
Because
that
he
gives
said-
me
yep.
incentive.
Yep.
And he's like 75-year-old guy, he could ride 75, but I'll go on my bike in the gym where I live. I haven't done it here, and I'll do a 30-minute workout where every 3 minutes I'll do I spin as fast as I can, and for 1 minute I'll go standing up, all out,
Yeah.
tight, and I'll do that for 30 minutes, and that's really, I
Dude,
do that
love,
3 times a week.
I love
And
like people think that, even the younger people, they're like, well, this is just what I have to accept. I'm going to be overweight, or I'm going to be in this shape, but they don't realize that you don't have to accept that. Like,
No.
you just have to put it into work.
Mind.
No matter what age you are, it's never too late. So if there's people out there that are just retiring and they haven't, stepped in a gym or started any type of fitness journey, it's not too late. Like,
No, it's never too
get
late.
at it.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like, get at it, and know
Right.
that there's all ages, all fitness levels
Right.
in any gym in the world, and know that you'll fit in wherever it is.
Oh.
That you can walk through that door, and they'll be happy to see you. No matter what condition you're starting at.
Right.
Everybody starts at different fitness levels.
Right.
So I think you're a great role model for guys and girls that are retired, that have a little bit more time on their schedule, and you're showing, is living proof that it makes a difference if you take care of your body.
Right.
So let's talk a little bit about your. I'm gonna bring this up because I know that you're a religious man, and I am too. Where does that come from?
I don't know. I've always believed in God. I grew up. I went to Catholic school. I come from a background of nuns, priests in my family back in Hungary, and my nana was very religious. She would go to church 7 days a week. My nana, and
Wow.
I would go to church with my nana, and my nana was she'd be 80 years old. She'd be in the yard digging with a shovel. She came to America when she was young. She was a midwife. She delivered babies, but then the police came and told her that she couldn't deliver babies anymore. So she became a volunteer. But and my father's mother was very religious. My mom and dad weren't. They just made us go to Catholic school.
Okay.
And I just I got away from being a Catholic. I became a fundamentalist Christian. I believe in literally the Bible, the book, and that's my belief. And I live in a country where we're allowed to believe whatever we want
Sure.
to believe, and
Yes,
I
sir.
love the freedom of religion. I love I just have a passion for God, for living right, for trying to do the right thing.
Yeah.
And I belong to a church. It's a small church, and it's nice. There's good fellowship there with Christian men. I like being around Christian men and women. I'm around all different types of people, but I enjoy being around Christian people. You don't got to watch your back. Don't worry about somebody trying.
Right. Yeah. You're around good people.
Yeah.
And I think it's nice to have something you can fall back on, because, as we both know, the world can beat the hell out of you sometimes. And it's nice to be able to put that trust in somebody,
Right.
depending on what your religion is,
Yeah.
believe in God and say, hey, look, man, I need some help here.
Yeah. Right.
Lead me in the right direction.
Yeah. Well, because I met a Muslim kid in here about a week ago. We were talking. He was talking about food and stuff, and how and his religion. You know, he's a Hindu, and how he was asking what to eat. And I was sharing with him a little bit.
Yeah.
I haven't seen him again, and I like to find books about what people are interested in. Where I come from, there's outdoor libraries where I go backpacking and stuff.
Yeah.
And I always get books and change books. I like the outdoor free book thing, give a book. So I'm always finding interesting books. And I love patent. I always find books. And it's weird. There's no coincidences in life. The Lord will send you people or places or things. And it's really weird. God's word's confirmed a lot. Like the other day in church, they were talking about Dietrich Bonhoeffer. He was a man who died in Auschwitz. He was a religious guy.
Okay.
And how I'm reading a secular book the next day, and it was about a book about inner excellence, and they were talking about Dietrich Bonhoeffer. And I was like, wow, you know, that happens a lot to me. Different things.
Yeah.
It's synchronicity, or I don't know what it's called, but I believe it's God, and God puts people in your life, and I don't even know why I'm sitting here right now doing this thing. But, you know, Lonnie asked me, I like Lonnie, I respect Lonnie, the work ethic and the gym, I don't know. I just love gyms. I love.
Yeah. Well, I was looking forward to this all week since we talked last week about getting you on here. Yeah. Well, like I said, I get to talk to you a little bit out there, but you know everybody's out there to work out, so I don't want to interrupt anybody too much. Right. So I was looking forward to just talking because I kind of knew in a nutshell what Mark was all about, but I wanted to like dig in a little bit deeper and see where that comes from. But yeah, I'm a true believer that things happen for a reason.
Yeah.
Whether it's people coming in your life or certain circumstances. That just makes life easier if you just look at it like, hey, there's a reason I'm going through this. There's a reason this is happening to me, and it just makes it a little bit easier to tackle. So you mentioned a little bit there about excellence. There's something I like to ask everybody. We have a couple core values in the company, and one that really that I think is the most important in my eyes is QTE, which is quality through excellence. So if you could break that down in Mark's life, like what does, and it doesn't have to be about fitness, it can be about anything. What does that, when I say to you quality through excellence, like what does that mean to you?
Comes to doing a good job of always make the company money. When we were iron workers, my job was to make the company money. A lot of guys didn't want to make the company money. They wanted to make money. I like to make money too, but we always made the company money, and honesty too. When you did something wrong, you fessed up and said that you did it. I worked on a job where if you did something wrong, you could kill somebody, or if you get hurt, dangerous stuff, and rigging and stuff, and quality. We used to love to put rock on the wall. I loved to weld, excellent. I wasn't the best welder in the local. There was 3 or 4 guys better than me, but I always tried to be. And
just as good as them.
Just as good as them.
Yeah.
And, you have confidence too, and I used to like to teach apprentices. I was a journeyman. Guys taught me, and we passed it on. And not many guys would want to learn, but the ones that did, I would go out of my way. And that was a job as a journeyman, to take them under the wing, to give them the confidence to do stuff, to teach them to weld. They had a license to weld, but they never welded in the field. So they were scared for that first 50,000-pound piece. When they take down the crane, you got the pieces holding 50,000, the crane. So you say, take it down to 40, take it down to 30. You just didn't drop the slack, take it down to 10. And then you see that the welds were good, and then you get rid of the crane. And I'd love to teach a kid how to do that, because I could do that. And I was scared the first time I did it, and I know their feeling. So I used to like when I did it, pushing the rig too. When crane can't see you, you're talking to the crane. The crane's all the way back there, big tower crane. And you're his eyes. Yeah. And a lot of guys were scared to do that, and I loved doing it.
Because they got to trust you.
Oh yeah.
And so you got to have quality with it, every move that you're making.
We're up, and to see a kid pick up the microphone, scared doing it, and I used to enjoy that. And I created a monster. Yeah. And they're out now, and they're making money, and my son's with them. Right now, he's an iron worker in Manhattan. He's got 18 years in the business. Okay. And, I just love ironwork, and I love the business.
Well,
I miss the business.
Yeah, I can tell.
I miss
so quality for those guys, like you're building something, it's got to be it's got to be top quality.
Right.
And that's like where that whole quality thing. It's, you know, obviously some businesses, it is, like you said, you got to make the company money.
Right.
For us, our quality is we need to help people as much as we can. So when they come to the gym, we want to make sure that, like, we're in the business to help people. Obviously, all businesses must make money to keep the lights on and keep the doors open, but our number one goal is to help as many individuals as we can, whether it's through exercise or diet or, you know, just really relieving some depression that they might have or stress coming in and relieving that as a form of exercise. So we're in the business of helping people, and we try to do it with quality and make sure that you know, we're giving 100% and going the extra mile.
I like what you said about the stress, and the job was very stressful with the wind conditions. Things would be spinning, birds would be flying by, dust, noise, people screaming. You know, just stress is it's a good place to be, and to control the stress. It's like I do some things that are very, very stressful, and you have to really relax and breathe. And box breathe and deep breath and let your breath out. And stress is good. You have to learn to strive under stress and not let stress overwhelm you.
Right. Right. So we mentioned that a little bit before we wrap up. I'm going to talk about the swimming side of stuff because you know, we talked about that when we first sat down today. That's got to be a stressful situation because I don't do ocean swimming. I did one time and I tapped out, and I had a little Mexican guy pull me out of the water and put me in the dinghy to get me the hell out of there because I was like floating on my back. I was like, I can't go no more. Get me out. So tell me, because that was something that really sticks with you because it's eating you alive. That you.
Well, you have to train to swim in the ocean. You got to start in the pool, and I dislike pool swimming. My town was nice though. Where you come, it was only $1 to swim, so I would swim 4 times a week. It was only $1 because they take care of the senior citizens where I come from, and I would swim 2 miles. I worked up when I first started swimming. It was only a half a mile, and then I worked up to a mile, and then I would swim 2 miles, and it's just a great feeling to swim 2 miles in the pool. But it was chlorine, this and that, and then I loved taking an ice cold shower after the swim because the water was always warm. I like swimming in 70-degree water, 68-degree water.
Yeah.
And the swims that we do now in the swims, I haven't swam in 3 years. I just swam 2 weeks ago. I swim Coach Brian Shea. He does a swim in Long Branch, and you swim a mile in the morning, and the sun comes up, and you watch the sun comes up, and you swim, and he goes out a quarter mile out. The buoys are a quarter mile, and a quarter mile. So it's like a mile loop.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just or it's a half a mile loop, and you got to do the things. But it's just fun, and you can't see in the water, and sometimes the water's clear. Most of the time it's murky, and you can see when you come up. You got to look at the buoys, and you get like 10, 15 people. Sometimes it's 20.
Okay. So are you trying to do? They call it a race, or
no,
how do they classify like a swim or like a marathon?
They have open water swims. They're mostly mile swims or 2 mile swims, and it's mostly for charities in Jersey. But I like swimming, not competitively, because even at my age, at 70, there's guys that swim that you couldn't touch. Guys in their 20s can't touch.
Like fish,
And the body weight too. They float better. See, I don't float good, so I have to really swim. And there's all different intricacies of it, but I never got into that. I'm just into the stroke. I love methodical things. I could swim. I haven't swum all day, but I've swum 3 or 4 hours at a time. So I know.
So you go for like distance or time?
Yes, yeah. I didn't swim competitive. I swam this year. I went to a pool in Derry Township. Cost $10 to get in, a little expensive, but I swam a mile without training. I haven't swam. And then the next week I swam 2 miles, no training. That was my training was 1 mile. And then the next week I swam 3 miles.
Okay.
And swimming 3 miles without training is brutal.
I can only imagine.
But I have a muscle memory of it.
Yeah.
So I know that if I train, once I get back into the pool, I like to find a nice saltwater pool.
Yeah.
I could train in, not get away from chlorine, and or a creek or a river here where I could train with a wetsuit
Yeah.
You know, and not swim because of the water being cold, but swim for like a half hour, repping in like 50-degree water.
It's a great workout. It's
Yeah.
a great workout
Yeah,
because there's no tension. You know, you're not
Yeah.
putting your body under tension as far as your
Right.
joints and everything go. So it's a great workout, cardiovascular and muscular wise. So I love. Well, dude, there's one thing I can say that you do. You're living to the fullest and you're taking care of yourself. So it shows. Keep doing what you're doing, and you know, when you do that next swim, maybe we'll get back on here and talk a little about that swim.
Oh yeah,
and
I like that.
I think that if anything, hopefully we reach somebody out there that's listening to this. Let them know that no matter who you are, what your background is, what age you are, fitness is something that you can start at any time and any age, and just know that you're going to come in at your fitness level. And you know, the only place to go is up. You know what I mean, to that next fitness level. So, anything you want to share?
No. First podcast, like I said, I'm not a media guy, but I don't know. It was nice talking about my dad and talking about my grandpa, talking about our military men, my uncles that served. You know, Billy being a grunt, Bobby being a helicopter mechanic. I love the gym. I like talking with Lonnie. We really got deep here.
Yeah.
I was nervous about things. It's good to put yourself out there, and I like that I got to share about my Lord and Savior.
Yeah.
Too,
Well, it's always good to do new things,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Walk into rooms that you never walk into. Have those conversations, whether they're easy or hard. And this is something that's going to be out there. So your family, you know, you got kids, they can listen to this and learn maybe something. Maybe you shared something today that they don't know about, you know, your uncles or your grandparents or something like that. But this is stamped in time now, brother. So this is going to be out there for everybody to listen to. So your kids, kids.
Right.
This is going to be around, and you know, I mean, it's all about setting a legacy, and I think you're doing that for your family. I know that your grandparents will be happy.
Oh, thank you.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you.
This is another episode of Time Squared, and today we had Mark Sommer on. Take a listen, and we'll see you next time.